There is an old belief in parts of Korea that some sleeping positions do more than make you uncomfortable. They make you visible, not to another person, but to something that waits until the room is completely silent. Most people dismiss it as another superstition passed down by grandparents, but in the winter of 2018, a university student living alone in Seoul documented 7 nights in a row that would make even skeptics hesitate before falling asleep. He insisted it all started because he ignored one warning: never sleep with your feet facing the bedroom door. His name was Minjun, 24 years old, a graduate student studying architecture. Practical, logical, the kind of person who laughed at ghost stories but obsessed over blueprints and measurements. When he moved into a tiny rooftop apartment, the only place the bed would fit was directly opposite the entrance. Anyone walking through the door would be looking straight at his feet. His grandmother noticed immediately.
She stood quietly in the doorway before helping him unpack. Then she frowned. "You should turn the bed." He laughed. "There isn't enough room." She didn't smile. In the old days, they carried the dead out with their feet first. Sleeping that way invites wandering spirits. They mistake you for someone ready to leave. Minjun thanked her, but never moved it. He later joked about it with his classmates. One replied, "My grandmother says the same thing." Another added, "Mine refuses to sleep in hotel rooms arranged like that." They laughed, then forgot about it. For almost 2 months, nothing happened. Life settled into routine. Classes, coffee, late-night projects, occasionally falling asleep with his laptop still open. Then one rainy Tuesday, he woke up at exactly 3:14 a.m. No nightmare, no noise. Just the unmistakable feeling that someone was standing in the doorway. By the 4th night, strange details began piling up. His slippers, always left beside the bed, appeared perfectly aligned toward the door. His blanket seemed folded over his feet, even though he never slept that way. His phone alarm had somehow been switched off. Friends suggested sleepwalking. His landlord blamed old pipes. Minjun bought a cheap security camera online. He pointed it toward the entrance. The footage showed nothing unusual, except for one thing. Every night at exactly 3:14, the camera lost signal. For precisely 28 seconds. No static, no distortion, just black. When recording resumed, everything appeared unchanged. He contacted the manufacturer. They found no faults. The memory card worked perfectly. Frustrated, he borrowed another camera from a classmate. Different brand, different battery, different settings. The same blackout happened. Always at 3:14. Always 28 seconds. His confidence started to crumble. He stopped sleeping well. Dark circles formed under his eyes. He began drinking coffee just to function. One evening, he visited his grandmother. Without mentioning the cameras, he casually asked why people feared sleeping with their feet toward the door. She became unusually quiet. Then she answered, "Because if something enters looking for the dead, your body tells it you are already waiting." He laughed nervously. She didn't. Instead, she reached into a drawer and handed him a faded family photograph. On the back was written only one sentence: "Always turn the bed." That night, Curiosity overcame exhaustion. He decided to stay awake. Lights off, phone recording, eyes fixed on the doorway. The apartment remained silent. Outside, rain tapped against the windows. At 3:13, nothing.
3:14. The hallway motion light outside flickered through the frosted glass, then stopped. He later described what happened next only once. He said the darkness inside the doorway became darker than the room itself. Not a figure, not exactly. Just a shape where darkness seemed too complete. It did not move. It simply waited. His entire body froze, not from fear alone. He couldn't move. His breathing stayed shallow. His heartbeat thundered in his ears. Then he heard a whisper, not from the doorway, right beside him. "You should already be gone." The pressure vanished instantly. The clock changed to 3:15. The hallway light returned. He jumped up and switched on every lamp. Nothing remained. No footprints, no open windows, no signs of intrusion. The next morning, without eating breakfast, he dragged his bed to another wall. It barely fit. His desk had to be moved. His closet could no longer open completely. But he made it work. That night, he slept until morning. No waking, no doorway, no whispers. When he checked both security cameras, neither had blacked out. 3:14 passed normally. No interruptions, no missing footage. Only an empty room.
Years later, Minjun told the story only once during a university reunion. Most people assumed stress had caused hallucinations. Some blamed sleep paralysis. Others pointed to coincidence. He accepted every explanation, except one. When someone jokingly suggested turning the bed back toward the door, he immediately shook his head. No. He didn't smile. He didn't explain. He simply stared into his coffee for several seconds before quietly adding, "I've been sleeping peacefully ever since, and I don't want whatever found me to recognize the room again." Even today, many families in Korea still avoid placing a bed with the feet pointing directly toward the entrance. Maybe it's tradition. Maybe it's symbolism rooted in funeral customs. Or maybe some warnings survive because enough people ignored them first. So tonight, before you turn off your lights, take one last look at your bed. Because if the old stories are true, the first thing entering your room may only be checking which way your feet are facing.